Meditation should be a daily practice. You
Yep.
need to be able to be at peace with yourself, be able to sit still, be able to control your breathing, and be able to connect your physical, physiological with your mental, get you into a better mental state. You need to do that on a daily basis. A lot of times the world around you is chaotic. And then especially in today's time, like I was mentioning earlier, we're overstimulated between social media, between the music, between everything. We see all these different distractions everywhere. Everything is vying for your attention. You need to be able to be okay with being still, being at peace, and not having any type of stimulation.
Yeah.
And that's going to really have a big impact on just how you perceive things. Two, journal, like reflect on your day. Like so many things happen in a day that we don't ever take the time to really look back on. Like, how did this make me feel?
Yeah.
What did I think of this experience? And I think when you don't do that, you just miss out on the growth that you can get from just looking back and sitting back and analyzing and just thinking, reflecting on what happened. Um, and it's not, it don't even got to be about just what happened during the day, but stuff that happened like years ago. If you don't really take the time to process how you felt about an event, especially if it was one that was traumatic, then you're never really gonna ever be able to heal from it because
Yep.
there's gonna be so many questions. The beauty of journaling and getting your thoughts down out of your on paper is because you get it out of your psyche. It's not stuck in your head. Once you get it out, you can. It feels like you don't let a weight off. Like you don't really gotta just sit with that.
Yeah.
And then talk to people, man. You gotta have some tribes, some folks that you can reach out to and be able to just tell them certain things and just have trust in them, confide in them, and just not hold on to all that alone. I think when you try to keep everything bottled up, the pressure just builds on itself. It don't go away. You can't just slide it under the rug and think it's gonna dissipate into nothingness. It's just gonna fester. It's gonna grow, and then eventually it's gonna come to a head, and there's gonna be so much pressure that you end up exploding in a way that becomes very dangerous for you and the people around you. So you got to be able to get some stuff off of your chest. Have therapists, have friends. You want both. You don't want to just dump everything onto your friend or your girlfriend or your homie. You can't just dump everything onto them all the time. So it's good to have a professional. That's my initial thoughts on it.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I think, in addition, I would, well, to support it, I think, uh, journaling, getting that stuff out, to me, it's like, when your phone or computer or whatever runs out of storage, right?
Yeah, it
You
starts moving
It
slow.
starts
Its
moving
process is
slow.
slow.
Things just don't work as it's supposed to work. When you purge, you talk about it, you write it down, you do all of that. You're creating more space because the fact is, you're going to have another trauma. You're
Yeah,
gonna, and you need space for the trauma, the new trauma, and you need space for the good things in life that are coming
yeah,
about. You just need to have space in your
that's true.
spirit for stuff. Um, which is part of the reason why like it's necessary to have the filters of not being on social media all the time,
Yeah,
putting up guards and boundaries and stuff like that. I have a therapist. I've had a therapist for a while. Dude has quite literally saved my life on many occasions. Not that I was like suicidal at that, but it was just like there were many times where I really just wanted to just be done and give up and everything else. And we had wonderful conversations. And I would leave. I would go in feeling heavy and leave feeling like a whole new person. Um, and it's just that valuable. Like you said, I always tell people you go to church or mosque or synagogue or whatever a spiritual place for your soul. You go to the doctor for your body. Your mind needs something too. Your mind is literally a part of you as well. And if your mind is not, there's a scripture that says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." If your mind is not healthy, literally the rest of your life will not be healthy.
mm,
And everything that happens in your life attacks your mind. It's either going to affect your mind, it's going to attack your mind. Your mind is going to have something to do with everything that is in your life. Again, another scripture. Guard your heart with all due diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Heart, in that sense, is like it's your mind,
yeah,
it's your inner you, and so that's. And the thing is, the more work I've done, I told my friend and I were having this conversation anyway. The more work I've done on myself, the more I see why other people don't do it, why so many people don't do it. Because it's hard. It's the
mm,
worst thing I've ever done in my life. It's
yeah,
terrifying, and it is incredibly. It's everything you can possibly. Anything that people are afraid of happening is exactly what's going to happen. And guess what? 10 out of 10 would recommend, would do it every single time.
Yeah.
Life changing. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life, and I would do it again every single time because it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's we were talking about it earlier, freedom. Like you get to a point where you really start to see and break through the crap, and you start to see yourself. You're like, you know what? I like this. This is dope. Let's keep going. It hurt, but let's keep going. It's like working out. Like you work out, you don't like it. It hurts. He's like, why am I running 10 miles? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And then you start looking at yourself. You start feeling yourself. You know what? I'll keep going. I forget about myself. It's a good day. Yeah.